So, looks like Zack Snyder fans will have to wait, I guess, indefinitely for Rebel Moon. It's looking pretty clear cut. Rebel Moon 3 requires an act from God, says the Zack Snyder collaborator Kurt Johnstad. Now, this isn't a major surprise, or it shouldn't be a major surprise by any stretch of the imagination. These films did not do very well, and they did cost an insane sum of money, like a genuinely insane sum of money. I think previous to the most recent Russo brothers film, which was The Electric State, I think this was some of the highest budget for a Netflix production. So, yeah, not great, and I don't think Netflix, I mean, they can't be too happy with their return on investment. I'm going to go out on a limb and just say that that is the case. So we're going to dive into this today. Please do hit subscribe, turn those bell notifications on. And yeah, let's take a look. So, like I said, this is, a Zack Snyder collaborator. So it's not a hater. This is just someone being honest, basically. And it says this: Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, was intended to be a second installment in a 6-part sci-fi space opera. But it doesn't seem as if the film series will ever reach its conclusion. Now, they did say that they were going to be doing like games on the back of this, so I don't know, maybe the game can round out, I guess. But I've not heard much more about that either. So I have no idea what's going on. So, despite Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver briefly claiming the top spot in Netflix's film viewership charts upon its release, each passing day with no update from the streamer suggests that the saga may not reach its intended conclusion. So, The Scargiver's ratings performance marked a significant dip in viewership compared to its predecessor, A Child of Fire, which was Part 1. And it was bloody terrible, honestly. These films suck. They are objectively bad films. So this decline raised natural concerns about audience retention and overall interest in the burgeoning universe. So adding to these worries is the overwhelming negative critical response to the film. We can look at, actually, Rotten Tomatoes here. Look, I mean, it's pretty bad. Even the audience hated it. Now, what I did find interesting about this is if you look at how many people reviewed Part 1, right? So that's 10,000 plus, right? 10,000 plus reviewed it. Let's look at Part 2. So Part 2, The Scargiver. 1,000 people reviewed it. So you could see that people just could not care less about this if they tried. They just didn't care. Which shows that Part 1 just didn't capture people's imaginations. I unfortunately did watch Part 2, and it was garbage. They are all garbage. They're crap. Yeah, objectively, they're crap. So, not great, obviously, and a massive waste of money for Netflix. Remember, Part 1... I mean, even the critics were like, I can't be bothered to watch this. 183 critic reviews, only 118 for Part 2. 1,000 people. And I think this is what's actually really damning about it, right? Is 10,000 plus people watched Part 1, and they rated it like 53%, was it? Let's have a look. 56%, sorry. And then Part 2 came out, and only 1,000 people, 1,000 plus, but still it's not high, people watched it. And they rated a 47. So logic dictates that the people that watched Part 2 after Part 1 are those that actually quite enjoyed Part 1. And even they couldn't muster reviewing it positively online. That's bad. That's really bad, man. That's so terrible. If I was the director, if I was Zack Snyder at that point, I'd be like, what am I doing? Like, I make trash. I've been ejected from Hollywood. What is going on? Yeah, I need to assess my life choices. That's what I would think at that point. Because this is awful. But anyway, we'll scroll through this. Financial. So furthermore, financial perspective, Netflix's investment in the Rebel Moon project is substantial. The first 2 installments were reportedly produced simultaneously with a combined production budget of 166 million. I mean, that's a lot of money. So I was wrong, though, just as an FYI. It's not one of their biggest productions before The Electric State. The Electric State's like $300 million. I don't understand how. The Russo brothers stole that from Netflix. But obviously this has been terrible. 166 million for garbage reviews and garbage watch time. However, screenwriter Kurt Johnstad, who wrote the first 2 films, so again, not a hater, recently offered a candid assessment of the situation during an appearance on the One Minutemen podcast. While confirming that detailed plans exist for the continuation of the story, Johnstad painted a grim picture for the likelihood of seeing those plans realised. He said the following, and quote, "We outlined movies 3, 4, 5 and 6. Very detailed outlines. And Zack has literally plotted out the whole world. Yes, like cool dude bro does this, cool dude bro does that. Dude bro and sweaty chick fornicate over here. That's basically what it is. That's the depth of Zack Snyder's imagination in this day and age, it seems. God, he's fucking terrible. He really is. Anyway, we know where we can go. We've written detailed outlines. The second movie was to find the princess. And the third movie is to make sure that the princess is where she should be, sitting on the throne and properly ruling over the mother world. Amazing. No one cares. Oh, literally no one cares. Demonstrably no one cares. However, when directly questioned about the possibility of a third Rebel Moon, Johnstad said, "With some luck and an act of God, we'll get to go back to that world." Yeah, it's not happening, mate. It's not happening. I would be surprised if Zack Snyder gets to make anything for Netflix ever again. They must look at this and just go, what on earth did we do? Why did we do this? Like, genuinely terrible. I mean, they are working on something already. Apparently a gritty LAPD thriller. I mean, alright then. Alright, sure, whatever. Not really heard it announced. I don't know. I can't see that coming to fruition either. And if it is, it's going to have like a tiny budget of like $10 million. Or something like that. Because, jeez. Anyway, basically it's dead. Rebel Moon is dead. Hilariously. Like, a fart on a whimper and it's dead. That's it. It's gone. God damn. Good. It was trash. It was a trash world. It wasn't that interesting. It stole so much stuff from Warhammer. Like, pretty much everything was just stolen from Warhammer. Like, even like direct name references for things. Just stolen. How things look, stolen. Just honestly, absolute creative bankruptcy. Anyway, what do you think? Leave your thoughts down below. Bye-bye now.